So can you gaslight a gaslighter, right? I'm gonna give you the short answer, but then you need to watch the whole video. The answer to that is probably not. But you may be wondering, why not? Why can't I just do something and deny I said it or deny it happened and then tell them, hey, you're crazy, you're paranoid, you need help, I never did that. I mean, listen, you've been to the gaslighting rodeo enough and you know what it looks like. You kind of almost know what to say. So you might be wondering, why then exactly can't I gaslight them if I know how to do it? So gaslighting, which has been top of mind for me lately, gaslighting is a funny and it's a dangerous dynamic. And let's face it, these days, everyone is talking about it and using the word. But often when they talk about it, they're just talking about one little slice of the gaslighting pie. But a slice isn't the whole pie. There's lots of pieces, steps almost, to gaslighting. It's a gradual process. It's like an indoctrination, right? It's a denial of reality or someone's experience or perception, okay? And then after you destabilize them with denial, you destabilize them more by telling the person there's something wrong with them, okay? But while those two things together constitute a single gaslighting episode, they don't represent the full spectrum of what is actually gaslighting. You got to look into the gaslighter's motivation, and the gaslighter wants control, power, and domination. Those things motivate them. There's actually been recent research that suggests that more malignant narcissistic people, our dark tetrad folks, believe that it is acceptable to gaslight, that it's a perfectly fine thing to do. And they do it to keep the upper hand, which they think is fine, and that keeping the upper hand in a relationship is just what you're supposed to do. So the full spectrum of gaslighting involves doing those things, denying and destabilizing and telling people there's something wrong with them, okay, that whole process, and doing it over and over and over again until the person you're gaslighting is fully in your control, and to be okay with all of this. And because while any of us have it in us to gaslight once, to do it as a long game if you're a healthy person is very unlikely. You'd literally almost need a personality transplant. And let me tell you, if those were available, this channel might not exist. The reason gaslighting works is that the gaslighter typically targets a decent, empathic, agreeable, willing to hear that there are two sides to a situation person. And so it is plausible when someone gaslights us. We might say, oh, maybe I did forget, or maybe that wasn't what they said, or maybe they are right. And then you throw in some trauma or early life adversity and the willingness for us to believe that something is our fault, that we're to blame. That creates a prime gaslight target in most people, especially if we didn't know what gaslighting is. So the gaslighter has a different ground game than healthy people do. They want power, they want to dominate and control, and that's the comfortable place for them in a relationship. They're not interested in connection and balance and love and reciprocity and equity and kindness or the needs of anyone but themselves. Again, they're interested in power and dominance. And that is what makes them capable of the reflexive, long-term, don't stop to think about it, don't care that it is hurting and devastating someone else gaslighting. The motivation and need have to be there in the gaslighter for it to really be gaslighting. And for a healthy or even halfway decent person, they simply really aren't. In fact, let's do it this way as an exercise. Stop and think about the last time that the narcissistic or emotionally abusive or toxic person in your life said that you were gaslighting them. It probably happened because maybe you said you felt sad about something that they did, or you felt that something they were doing wasn't fair, or that you actually brought up something that they did say in the past. You had it, literally, it was written down. And then they would turn around and accuse you of gaslighting them. Gaslighters will weaponize the term to gaslight you more. The very thing that they're doing, gaslighting you, they'll use it to shut you down, make you feel even more destabilized and blame yourself more. To gaslight someone isn't just denial. It's a motivation, it's a drive, it's a need, it's a strategy and a tactic to achieve that need for control, but ultimately it is about control with very little regard for how it affects the other person. In fact, you want to control them. So unless you're able to get your dark tetrad on and become a controlling, unempathic, dominance-focused, exploitative, and callous jerk, then no, you cannot gaslight a gaslighter. And frankly, I'm not sure why you would want to. It's not good for your soul. Listen, I'm the first person in the world to understand why you would want to give them a feel of what you felt, to give them a taste of their own toxicity, perhaps to turn them around, but it doesn't work that way because they will not feel what you felt. They may feel some of the things you felt when you were gaslighted, including anger. But what they will not feel is that sense of, well, okay, now that they've gaslighted me, maybe they're right. In their need for dominance, they're not going to feel that sense of, let me give in so I can maintain an attachment with this person. The shame and the insecurity voices within them become too loud for them if you were to try to gaslight them. And you will then face a wall of rage. That interior experience of the average person being gaslighted is to think about, how can I make this relationship work? Remember, the gaslighter is not a stranger to you. It's someone we may believe we love, or that we feel loyal to, or feel connected to, and that we may feel compelled to maintain that relationship. That is not going to be the gaslighter's experience. You either stay on their terms, or they're going to make you pay. So short answer, no, you cannot gaslight a gaslighter. Yeah, you could do a whole denial and dissemble. You can try it for a minute, but you're not going to be able to do the whole thing because that would require you to be the whole thing. And my guess is that you aren't, or you probably would not be watching this channel. Just like their personality can't change that much, neither can yours. So when they accuse you of gaslighting them, and maybe the only thing you did was try to hold them accountable or share a need or a feeling, recognize what they're doing. And they're using the term gaslight to gaslight you again. And guess what? If you find this interesting, we have a completely free workshop about gaslighting coming out tomorrow if you want to learn more. Okay? Come join us. Get a nice overview of gaslighting. Won't cost you a thing. Okay? So I'd love to have you come to that. Join us. I think the more you know about gaslighting, doesn't matter if the person in your life is narcissistic or not. We don't have to get lost in that. If someone's gaslighting you consistently, I don't care, you can call their personality any damn thing you want. It's an unhealthy relationship and it's going to hurt you. So come and learn more. Thanks again.